Hello folks, and welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, I was thinking to talk or just to provide an initial comment today, but I think everything is very clear. And those who are following me since a while, at least since 2022, but also before, and some of you are following me since really a long time. Those know Inspo very well, and they know my content as well. And, you know, I have said so many times that economics works different, like a very dynamic and volatile market. So a lot of wrong narratives were launched last year to trap retail. You remember all these charts I have provided: insider selling, retailers buying, and so on and so forth. We have talked about short-term options related to SPY and SPX to force the market maker just to hedge and to buy futures and to push up the price. Since the last OPEC, it's done. They are not going to do it anymore because it's not possible. Or at least it's not that easy. And yeah, so everything what's happening right now, I mean, even today, the PCE price index, that's a nice indicator of inflation excluding food and energy. And we know that energy, if we check the charts of crude oil and gas, it declined. So it's, you know, even the governor of the Bank of Japan used this as an argument to say inflation will go down when energy goes down. Jesus, what what do you think? How far much more will energy go down? I mean, you know, it's stupid. It's also another stupid story, another stupid narrative. Keep saying, well, we was wrong with the yen was weak compared to the USD. Now it's not, but the inflation keeps going up, so now it's energy. Instead, to declare and to be realistic and to say, okay, we were wrong and now we have to push up interest rates as well. But they are not doing it. However, it's fine. And we remember, I mean, let us make a summary. We remember end of the year. You remember, I mean, that was a huge joke when they spread that inflation could be good for you. Of course it could be good for you. If you have a lot of debts, maybe, then it's good for you. But if you are a hard worker, going to work every morning, spending hours and hours and hours in the office, or whatever you are doing to get your money at the end of the month, and you see at the end of the month, hey, what's happening? I have 10% less in my wallet now, but I'm doing exactly the same like a few months ago. And they told me inflation is good for me. That was a just stupid story, a stupid narrative. And then they started with the next one. Pivot everywhere. Just a lot of experts on Twitter. Pivot, we will see pivot because everything, and that's the part I have mentioned so many times. Forget what happened in the 70s. Forget what happened in the past. It's a different thing. We are coming from a global economy that just, you know, it triggered all these problems with a disruption. You can't compare one thing with a completely different other thing and say that's going to happen because it's not going to work. Otherwise, a lot of economists can take their bags and go out and work as, I don't know, whatever, something else. Because if everything is the same and repeats, you don't need people that analyze the current situation. And that's the big problem. People are thinking everything is trivial. Everything is patterns. Like when people are saying, yeah, but you know, that happened to Bitcoin last year. Forget last year. And forget 2021, because the market has changed since 2021. We can't compare 2018, 2019 with 2023, 2022, or 2021. And that's a big, big, huge problem I see on this Twitter space, but not only there. And we always need to analyze, and the initiation of an analysis is always to make questions and to look for the right answers. And that's what I'm missing. I'm missing people who use the brain. Instead, they are just looking for patterns. Forget patterns. It's of course patterns, it's easy. Oh, that happens 30 years ago, so it will happen again because it looks like. Yeah, that's it, I'm done. No, it's not. It's much more complicated. We have different layers who are playing a role right now. The Ukraine-Russian conflict. China mentioned they are going to provide drones to Russia. Yesterday, Iran was attacked once again. It seems it was, I don't know if that was an airstrike or whatever, but something is there. And that's a huge red flag nobody is talking about. But in case something big is going to happen related to this conflict, it will have a direct impact on the markets. And of course, what does that mean when the German government is saying, oh, we are going to make a trip in Malaysia because we want to reduce our dependency related to China and replace it from Malaysia? What do you think will happen to China with their Silk Road, where, hey, do you know how many billions China invested in the German industry? How many old and well-known companies are in hands of China? What is the German government, or what are our governments? Because I don't think that Germany is the only exception, but what will our governments do when the escalation continues and China starts, or even our governments like the German government did, for example, with some Russian companies in Germany, they seize them? Could you imagine that? What will happen with all the money and investments German wealthy people and companies did in China instead? Mercedes, BMW, and so on and so forth. So the whole disruption never happened before. It was different because we scaled the globalization. That was a little bit part of the new chapter of turbo capitalism. Make big profit and less time. And now everything is changing. Our governments are accumulating debts instead of financing education and the health industry. Instead they are, funding arms for a bigger military conflict. As mentioned just a few weeks ago, even the German army is demanding a war economy in Germany. A lot of red flags. And that's not even part or focused only on crypto. It's, it will have an impact to your personal life, to your work, to your investments, and so on and so forth. And then we have crypto. We are all involved in crypto. All of us like crypto. We believe in crypto. And that's, that's what we have in common. We are coming from different countries, different cultures. Some of you have even different religion. But we have one core, that's crypto. We believe in crypto, not only in Bitcoin, but also in altcoins. And we did a nice profit with that. Now, after a brutal and very weak year we had in 2022, it's showing more and more and more that the whole crypto space was, or at least a lot of toxic gamblers, criminals, scammers was involved in crypto. That's the main threat. And of course governments will take this as an excuse to change crypto in a manner that fits to them. That's what's going to happen. And then we can talk about Hong Kong. Then we can talk about, about the global regulatory body that will be introduced to crypto. And I have said so many times, also in the past, be careful. Be careful with that. Don't underestimate that. Always make questions and look for answers. Because the information is out there. You need just to make research. I just reduce your way to your to your answers. And that's what I'm providing here day and day and day, analyzing the markets, bringing you some more informations, so that it triggers a little bit your sentiment and to let you wake up that even a lot of people out there are shitting tokens, are shitting crypto in general and saying the next bull market is coming. And people say, yeah, you are saying that since 2 months. Yeah, I'm saying that since 2 months. Yeah, and you will see what will happen. The market will go down. It's just a matter of time. We just have too many risks. And I have said so many times the key is reward-risk ratio. When the risks increase and the opportunities are stable or even decline, then it's not time to go all in. Then it's time to wake up and to be extremely careful. That was my initial comment. It wasn't really planned, but now I did it. So we will see. As you see, they break now this area here, and we will see, because if we break this one, 23.5 is obviously the next. And for me, 21.800, I would say even between 21.5 and 21.800 should be key. On the daily one, we can see that here 23.200, so almost that part here is where we have a long-term trend line. Could be also used to bounce a little bit and to maintain before we go down. But for me, 21.8 is key. If we lose 21.8, we will see 17K again very quick, in my opinion. So yeah, let us take a look and check what is happening to the market, what we can figure out. Unfortunately, we are shifting again to weekend. That's really painful for me. But however, it is what it is, right? So let us check. So folks, then let us take a look here. I have tweeted this chart already. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. It doesn't want to go down below 50. I'm a little bit speechless. But yeah, I mean, if we would check that from here, it is almost just up, 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 up. And that explains, of course, why it maintains high. And that's big, because it's just telling us wait sentiment. Those who are sending bigger amounts to centralized exchanges are bearish. They are sending more Bitcoins and more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. That's what we can see here. And that's unbelievable, but it is what it is. And we can see that here, right? So, wow. If we go forward, and now we need to see, but we are coming to a situation where usually Bitcoin should stop, because that's what it did since weeks. I have said so many times, when the weights ratio 30 hours moving average goes up to 90, run. And right now it looks like it wants to go up, but at the same time we also know that happened in the past as well. So we are very close. We need to be careful. Okay, I have said I think we will go up again to 25k, because if they find demand there, they will do it, but I guess they don't find demand, or they will do it over the weekend. We don't know. We will see what's going to happen. But yeah, however, we need to be careful. What we see is that some Bitcoins are coming in. That's the net flow of 1,864 Bitcoin. That's not bad at all. And we need to see what's going to happen here. The weights ratio 1 hour, you can see it's up, 93, indicating, of course, it will go more up here. The weights ratio 30 hours moving average. And as said, if we see a weights ratio 30 hours moving average of 90 or above, then that means, oh, these guys want to push hard down. It's not the case at the moment. We see that stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges declined, up, declined again, and pushed up again afterwards. Let us go to the next chapter. So if we take a look here, we can see that also the inflow activity is pushing up while the outflow activity is declining. So yeah, that also shows and explains why also the market price, the Bitcoin price, is declining. However, we have braked that area of 23,600, but they are keep maintaining the price. We will check later on stablecoin inflows, outflows, and so on and so forth, how all these part looks. And if they want over the week and maybe push up, hitting 25k again, or at least go back to 24, just if, and all depends if they find some demand there. Otherwise, they are not going to do it. Of course not. So yeah, stable coins, peanuts, nothing coming in the last, let me see, 3 hours. 2,600 Bitcoins, it's fine, not big, but outflows only 600 in the last 3 hours as well. So yeah, it's in favor of sales at the moment. Let us go forward. So then let us take a look what's happening to the future market. Also here I have tweeted something yesterday. So let us take a look here. Oops, my PC. We went up here, and afterwards it dumped very hard. That was where I said be careful here, because it seems that someone is shorting big, and then afterwards the funding rate started to lift up again, indicating they are demanding more longs afterwards, and the price started while the price was declining. So retailers really thinking, oh, that's the local bottom, because hey, they said that's the initiation of a bull run. That's what they said. Okay? And so, of course, I'm going to trade that. Well, yeah, then, sorry, but well deserved. However, you know, open interest looks that way. And if we check, for example, here, we can see up, down, and up afterwards. So the leverage ratio is pushing up, interesting, while the open interest declines. So some people have started to use high leverage, it seems. Now let us take a look. If we check, for example, stablecoins related to derivative exchanges, 150 millions, that's not big at all. Absolutely not. Today another 120 millions, that's fine. It's not that bad, but it's not big. It's absolutely not big. If we take a look, for example, to Bitcoins, 1,200 was the maximum today. So also here, absolutely nothing happening, only related to outflows. For example, here 1,400 Bitcoins outflows, that was the biggest, and that's it. If we take a look, that's of course our aggregated chart. Here we can see open interest declining right now. We can see that leverage ratio is maintaining, and funding rate maintains positive, maintains in a trend, indicating they are just longing more and more and more and more. And well, at the same time, I mean, 2 days ago they liquidated 1,000, almost 1,600 Bitcoins and longs, and only 400 and shorts. Yesterday another 1,000 Bitcoins and longs, while only 600 Bitcoins and shorts, while only. But yeah, you can see also here, for example, that the funding rate have started to decline. However, it maintains in a positive trend. And if we check now the blockchain whispers, we had almost 1.5 billions in longs yesterday, and even today 1.6 billions. Now let us check. Wow, even more now, of course, because hey, only up, absolutely only up. And just to I told you, it's possible that we go up over the weekend. Weekend is always casino, and I was expecting go up and then more down. But we will see. However, 64 to 36, it's not healthy at all. Ethereum looks similar. Shorts on Bitfinex declined from 21 millions yesterday now to 19 millions. But even the longs declined. So let us take a look now to the Kingfisher and what we can see there. And we have much more BitMEX, Bitget. Okay, that's very interesting. No. So let us take a look to the all leverage, and wow, that changed a lot. 140 millions, and yeah, so everything at 21,800. And I have said 21,800 is a very, I mean, if you want to long, then you should have a liquidation level of 21,800, or even if it's possible lower, because at 21,800 the price will bounce. It doesn't mean we will go apart afterwards, but if we break 21,800 we will see directly 17k afterwards, because it's a POC. That's where the volume is. These guys are in distribution at the moment, so they look for liquidity. If they find liquidity at 21,800 and they can push up, why not? They can do it. But if we break 21,800, and that can take now days until we get 21,800. I don't think we are going to go straight to 21,800 from here. But then be careful, because from 21,800 to 17k could happen in really very, very, very short term. I would be extremely careful there. But it makes sense that these guys have, for example, here, even if it's not 21,800, it's 21,900, but they know at that price we are protecting. At least they are protecting. Also something we will see, and well, it makes sense in my opinion. So let us take a look to the high leverage positions. And wow, okay, that's crazy. I have said be careful with the weekend. high leverage positions between 23.8 and 24.2. So it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we go, even I know we will go down hard. We will go down hard. But it wouldn't surprise me, and I have said maybe a nice opportunity to make a swing trade. That's something, it's up to you if you want to do it or not. So that's it. Let us go forward. Happening here, for example, who is driving a little bit the price? If we check, you remember, we can say from here once again what happened, for example, related to BTC USDT pair on Binance. We can see here, for example, it's almost 180 millions in negative CBD. That's huge. If we take a look, for example, here now, that's the aggregated one, 194 millions, means other exchanges are also getting a negative CBD. BUSD, that's still for me, I don't know how that works, but however, we have here another 34 million, so nothing big. And then we have here USD, also here something we will check right now. And related to USD, another 50 millions almost. If we go forward, we can check, for example, Bitcoin collateral. We have here 870 millions. Okay, that's big. Wow. Okay, just in futures, we have currently an aggregated CBD of almost 3.4 billion, 3.4 to 3.5 billion US dollars. That's a lot. While if we take a look, 200, 280, 200, let us say 400 millions in spot. So it's more than to the upside, but it's still very low, right? However, but we will see later on that the spot volume started to increase, indicating spot, they are selling, they are in distribution mode, retailers are buying. That's an exchange between whales and retailers, and that's why now spot volume is rising. Of course, not more than, it's not bigger than futures, but it's flipping. And it's not flipping since today. I have mentioned that. Let us go forward. We can see that's BUSD, Binance, I don't know, but however. Bitfinex, clear message, distributing all the way down. If we take a look, Bybit doing exactly the same. Coinbase doing exactly the opposite. So they are buying. You remember all these USDC 150 millions where I said, I can imagine we will go. No. They are buying at the moment. Bitstamp also clear here what they are doing. Wow, Kraken as well, and not bad in volume. Jesus, that's really not that bad. And Gemini. So almost everyone is right now selling, and if we take a look now, let me see, are we getting so close before the dump start that they sent at 2:30? So at the same time when they released the PCE data, CPI, it was 150 millions coming from Circle to centralized exchanges, at least USDC, and 64 and another 25. Yeah, I would say it was 90 millions also related to Tether. So we are talking about almost 240 millions. You know, the question is for what? Well, I guess mainly really just to absorb, like we have seen Coinbase is buying instead. I have also treated that chart that's the fund flow. I hate to repeat my informations over and over again, and many people are on Twitter, but they ignore all my videos. That's the only thing that hurts to me, to be honest, because I'm sharing it. If you say I don't have time, I don't care, it's fine, but then don't waste my time making always the same questions. And that's the fund flow related to the market maker. The market maker is the market maker. He is driving the market. He did in 2021, and he is doing it again. And he is extremely bearish. He is not bullish. I have said so many times, as soon as the market maker flips to bullish, I will also flip to bullish. But it's not happening. Since month, it's not happening. And he unloaded tons of Bitcoins. Also, a lot of people out there are ignoring the facts. I don't care. Then it is what it is. But also that is what it is. They sent almost 4,000 Bitcoins just before. And that's only those Bitcoins they sent, for example, to centralized exchanges. Because they usually use OTC, and they also make profit sending Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. Also, for example, to short with them and to make more Bitcoins with them. And I guess even stablecoin futures as well. So when yesterday I said, oh, someone is making a bet for a falling price, and I put it the funding rate, the funding rate, the aggregated one, and the fund flows of market maker. This combination is the hell, because then oh, something big is going to happen. Yeah, I think we are seeing a little bit the consequences. Even I think, I have said maybe to make a swing trade would be cool, because I don't think, not yet, 21.8, if we break 21.8, and that could take some days, maybe a week or whatever, to go down to 21.8, because they can liquidate all the late shorts now, push up, and then down. When nobody thinks about, when everybody says, hey, we did it again, who cares? We are doing great. That's where you will get the punch in your face, and that's where these guys will start to liquidate you. Unfortunately, that's the game they are playing. It is what it is, if you like it or not, but that's how they work. Okay, daily. Who is that? Is that Bitstamp? No, Bitfinex. Whales were sending yesterday more Bitcoins. Coinbase as well. Interesting. Kraken maintaining, so sending, it was relatively high. And Gemini. Oh, look, those guys. Always the same guys. And a little bit also Bitget, but not that big. So we will see how it's going to look for today. Unfortunately, I don't have any kind of I don't have any kind of real data here. As, everything, it's here 100% indicating whales are sending a lot of Bitcoins at the moment at Gemini, Bitstamp, Bitfinex. Even on Binance, you can see here 77% indicating whales are sending more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. At the same time, Coinbase, the yellow curve is declining, matches very well, they are buying. OKEX pushed up, Bitget declining, Huobi declining, and Kraken pushing up. So it seems it comes a little bit from Bitfinex and the whole Bitfinex clan. I say Bitfinex because those who are following me since a while, they know HiBlock has a bot activity detection chart. And I really like it, because the thing, I don't need to spend $80 per month or something just for this one chart. Anyway, it opened my eyes a lot, because Bitfinex algos are using certain centralized exchanges like Gemini, Kraken, Bitstamp, Deribit, while FTX was using mainly Binance. You know, so when people started to say that's a fight between FTX and Binance, they were working all the time together. That's where, you know, all these. I really don't know if CZ played a very dirty game with Sam. I really don't know if that happened. Many of you know I wasn't a friend and fan of Sam, but I know that FTX and Binance was very well coordinated. That only works if they knew each other what they are doing. Like Bitfinex with Kraken, Gemini, and so on and so forth. However, yeah, nothing to see here. Yeah, and now let us come here to this chart, because this chart is also very interesting. I have said that's the trading volume ratio, spot versus derivative. Means if the curve goes down, means that spot pushes up more than derivative. Doesn't mean we have much more volume on spot than on derivative. It's a ratio. Okay, so sorry, that was I was thinking while speaking. That's sometimes not the best. When the curve goes up, spot is increasing and not derivatives. Only when derivatives volume is increasing, like they did, for example, with the whole rally, then it declines. That was future driven, spot increasing, future driven, and spot increasing. And the most interesting part here is if you check when spot started to increase, it's where you know, retailers get some FOMO, and if you check now what's happening, the price was declining, and those retailers started to buy the local dip, so saying, oh, afterwards we will push up more and more and more, and that was absolutely wrong, of course, and that's what we can see at the moment. So they were absolutely wrong, and these guys did everything necessary to trigger FOMO, to let all people expect the next bull run is right on the corner. And that was absolutely wrong. I have said so many times that's wrong, and well, we see now what's happening, right? So then let us take a look. So on Coinbase, finally they triggered the buy order they had there, and you can see that at least until 2028, that's what I said also in my last recent analysis, that I was seeing between 23 and 22.8 some liquidity waiting that let me think, okay, you know, these guys are waiting there just to let trigger their buy order, and it seems I wasn't that wrong. However, and that's, I mean, if you followed my analysis, you know, I have closed with profit my short at 23.1, because 23.150, that's a process. So in my opinion, at that time we can go a little bit more down, but then we should maintain here and maybe even go a little bit more up afterwards. That would be at least my expectation. So if we take a look here, they are still waiting here 25k and even above, but mainly 25k. So we need to see what's going to happen here. Also here the CBD is indicating now declining, so they start to sell a little bit, and at the same time they are here waiting at 23.2. So in case the price would go a little bit more up, they try to push the price down again. And now reinforcing, you can see that they are reinforcing the walls here once again. So let us take Bitstamp. What is Bitstamp doing? On Bitstamp, yeah, they are waiting right now at 23.4. That makes sense because we had also a break there, and so it would make sense, to be honest, to wait there. So if we retrace, I think we will retrace exactly to that level here, and that's where, you know, the new candle started to push down very hard, so it would make sense. Binance BTC USDT, oh, my lines, where? Okay, also here they triggered the buyer order. Also here you see some liquidity also between 22.8 and 23, but at the same time now waiting at 24, waiting again 24.3, and still a lot of sell orders waiting there. And at the same time, that's why 21.8, in my opinion, I mean 22.2 as well, but between 22.2 and 21.5, it's not going to be easy. Absolutely not. And that's why I think only if we break this one, only if these guys really want to push that hard, then it's over. Then we will go relatively quick to 17K, in my opinion. BTC BUSD doing exactly the same, 22.5, 22.3 and 22 almost. So at the same time you see a lot of sell orders here. If we go to Bitfinex, on Bitfinex they triggered the buy order here, and also here, for example, well, on Bitfinex always the same. You can see what they are doing. Look, that's algos, pure algo working there. I don't need to repeat that I would never ever trade on Bitfinex. So in Bitfinex is then manipulating other centralized exchanges, but that's another story. Yeah, also here, for example, interesting, they are blocking the way up on OKEX, BTC USDT, OKEX swap, you remember, still there, yeah, 17K. I don't know, it seems a little bit that's really accurate. We will see if that's really going to happen. Kraken, BTC USD, triggered also once, and now also protecting that area here. Otherwise the next one, 22,179, and to the upside nothing. Bybit BTC USD, nothing. BTC USDT, nothing. Bitmax, oh, Bitmax, oh yeah, Bitmax also here, clear statement between 23 and 22,800. No, we don't like, and we are not going to let you down that way. I mean, only if you push very hard. At the same time, you see here a lot of sell orders, also algos pushing the price down. Now futures, perp, yeah, they triggered all these long orders here, and also here waiting, and you can see we have between 23 and 22,500 a lot of stuff. So if they want to push more down, then they need much more bitcoins to unload. Also happened here to BTC BUSD on perp. Bitfinex, for example, at the moment waiting here at 22,800. So it's potentially the last candle week will be 22,800. Kraken futures, nothing here. OKEX futures, nothing. Deribit, interesting, Deribit still at 24,700. And yeah, also here pushing more down, while at the same time it looks, sometimes I think the whole thing is so programmed. Someone is programming some algos, and you know, programming the buy algos and the sell algos and then giving them the orders. Hey, I need following price development. Sometimes really it looks like. That's it. Let us go to the last chapter.